Jeremiah here with Rich Scott, manager of the Nature Source Society in Nanaimo. Rich, we had you on the show a couple weeks ago when this Nanaimo dispensary stuff started heating up. When the police, local RCMP, went around to 10 dispensaries and handed out these eviction notices, basically, or saying if you don't shut down, we're going to come here and shut you down. Last week on the show, or was it last week or a couple weeks now, you guys had your big event over there in Nanaimo, a cup, and then you guys started getting hit. Craziness.
And it was on Saturday that we had the Mid-Island Cannabis Open. It was a great turnout. It was a great show. There was no problems. Just like any other cannabis event, there's no violence, no issues at all. Then subsequently on December 1st, they actually executed the search warrant, and upon the search warrant, they stole about $10,000 worth of product and cash. And I use the word stole because it's already been clearly mandated by the federal government that we're going to go forward with the legalization. So them concentrating all of their resources on busting these peaceful pot shops is kind of just a redundant point. There will be no conviction guaranteed. There's already been legal precedent set on this. So why are they wasting their resources on doing the investigation in the first place? And then once they do the investigation, they just are stealing money and product from a peaceful business.
And now, I mean, what is it that the cops are saying? They're basically just saying, you guys are illegal.
Yeah, they're saying the law is the law, and that's all there is to it. But really, we, the people, the citizens of this country, have already decided that the law is just kind of archaic and just kind of ridiculous, to quote the judge from Quebec. It's just ridiculous that they're going to go through these extents. It's like they're rushing around trying to bust the pot shops while they can.
Yeah, exactly. Their last hurrah.
Yeah, they're picking at the low-hanging fruit because it's easy points for them.
Well, and it really is. They're going after the sick and dying people. I mean, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
And so
as well as the sick and dying, just the businesses that are operating in an open, honest manner. We're all being very polite, courteous neighbors to all of our neighbors. And so it's not very hard for them to build a case and come in and bust us because we're not trying to hide.
Right,
we're trying to be part of society. We're not trying to be criminals.
Now, how many dispensaries were hit this second round, like when they actually started arresting people?
There was 3 dispensaries that they executed the search warrants at, and subsequently 16 people were arrested, some of them being employees, some of them being volunteers, some of them being patients, or clients, I should say.
Wow. And so, I mean, that's a lot of people to arrest at just 3 dispensaries.
Oh, yeah, we basically filled Nanaimo city cells for a full day. It was about 8 hours to process us.
No way. Unbelievable. And it would all happen at the exact same moment kind of thing. You guys were all there together.
Yeah, they blanketed the 3 places pretty quick. And it was executed in a very crossing T's and dotting I's fashion, as long as people were there watching. But as soon as there was nobody in the building, they were doing the same old what the police do, high-fiving each other, fist-pumping. They even sat down in my restaurant and had lunch.
Wow, so it basically hits a lot of unprofessionalism from the Nanaimo RCMP.
Yes, I would say that it was not very professional. They appear professional when you're face-to-face. They'll smile as they're stealing your money.
Yeah. Well, and even how this started, when they first came around, the letters they handed out weren't on an official letterhead or anything like that. It looked like they had just printed it off and hand-scribbled parts of it.
Yeah, it really does look like it's a spearhead of a few right-wing Harper stormtroopers, for lack of a better description.
Mm-hmm. Well, and hasn't the mayor come out and said that there's nothing he can do about it?
Well, I can't really say why Bill McKay's not stepping in. There's lots of speculation whether Tilray might have something to do with it, but I don't want to speculate on what the facts are around that. He's just sticking by his guns that it's not his duty to step in and interfere with police investigation. But there has been municipal precedent set in other circumstances where the municipalities have asked RCMP to stand down, and subsequently they will listen to the municipality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and I know he did mention to the press, I saw a quote from him saying, oh, well, you know, we hand it all over to them, so we don't have any jurisdiction over it. But I have heard, of course, I mean, there's always something that can be done. And, you know, even just, I mean, and look at what we have in Vancouver going on. I mean, they've even made regulations where they've passed it through city council. So, I mean, there's obviously something the council can do.
Yes, same with Victoria. They just recently went through regulation. So it's actually quite a bit cheaper, only $5,000 to register your cannabis dispensary down in Victoria.
Rather than the $30,000 they want in Vancouver, yeah.
Correct, yeah. And Port Alberni just actually voted on City Council to go ahead and allow the dispensaries to open up. Subsequently, We Medical has moved out there, and Lime Life has just secured a place there.
Wow, so now they've gone after you, they've, you know, robbed you of a bunch of your stuff. Are you guys now still open, or what's the current status of the biz?
Oh, we're going to stay strong. It's a bit of a struggle. They just hit us quite hard financially, and unfortunately, a great deal of the staff is either been ordered not to come around with their conditional release, or have been scared off. So there's very few of us left. It's just a skeleton crew that is willing to be arrested for their cause.
No kidding. Well, and that's what it really comes down to, is who, you know, can be arrested. Also, you might have a family, you might have other obligation, things like work that you just can't be. So
yeah. I myself have 7 children, but I'm really sticking to my guns. I'm behind Justin Trudeau with his mandate to legalize. It's unfortunate that he's busy with world affairs and he can't deal with it. And the reality is that in the grand scheme of things, he has a lot on his plate. He has put forth the mandate to go forward with legalization, but unfortunately he's too busy to oversee it himself, I'm guessing.
Well, you know, I'm starting to wonder because in a little bit of research I was doing over the past couple of days, just digging up quotes from liberals, they're making it sound as if you know, what was the quote? Well, they're kind of sounding like the Nanaimo RCMP and saying, well, it's illegal, so we have to follow the law. They're outside of the framework and this kind of stuff. So some of those quotes are a little scary. There's an article on the front page of Cannabis Culture right now that contains some of those ones. But you know, I not that I'm a Liberal member myself. I really hope that the Liberal government does what's right on this and doesn't just abandon you guys and leave you guys in the cold. You know, there's a lot of speculation that they want to go to this LP model, especially because even Rafisi there was the chief financial officer of the Liberal Party, was the co-founder of Tweed as well, and sits on the board of Aurora and other things. So, you know, there's some ties there that are a little strange. But you never know. I think that hopefully you're right, and that Justin's just busy doing other stuff right now, and he's going to come through with a really swift form of legalization quickly.
Yes, and there's been many reports also on suggestions from Colorado and the mistakes that they made. One of them is that they took too long and debated on this, that, and the other thing, and it really hurt the bottom line when it comes to the industry and the taxation and the revenue that could be created from it.
Well, absolutely. And even in Washington, the same thing happened with stalling on distribution and all that kind of thing. It really took a long time to get the system set up, and a lot of people just have to go to the black market till then.
Correct. That's another thing. They've rethought the 43% tax because it subsequently makes the price so high that it's cheaper to go to the black market, and because it's legal, it's easier to hide the black market.
Right.
So they've decided to relook the taxation of it and maybe bring it down to a reasonable level, so then people will, instead of going to the black market, they will actually go to the legitimate stores.
Mm-hmm. I know it would be a crazy thing to do to, you know, decriminalize it, but not provide a new system of distribution and access for people, because then you're just basically giving a giant gift over to organized crime and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you guys are amazing in Nanaimo there. So now the other dispensaries too. I mean, there's still dispensaries that are operational in Nanaimo at the moment.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We've all decided to stay open. I think that there was one that closed down. He was just a smaller guy, but Mid-Island Wellness is open. To the best of my knowledge, I know for a fact Trees Dispensary is open, and I also know that We Medical has stayed open. Phoenix Pain Management is open.
And you guys have formed the Nanaimo Cannabis Coalition as a way to sort of get everybody on the same page and fight back against what's going on there. Is there a way people can help you guys?
The best way I could say to help us is just support your local dispensary and keep on coming in so we can pay our rent.
Exactly.
Without the customers, there is no business.
That's right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us an update. Now, what have the police... They've continued... I know there was a CBC story that had a really ominous headline saying the crackdown will continue and that the cops are still making more threats. Do you know what the police are saying now?
Well, they've expanded their stormtrooper tactics to Vernon now, apparently. They've given out the same 7-day cease and desist order over there. I'm suspecting that if the cannabis dispensaries over there don't shut down, then they'll probably have a search warrant. There's a particular judge over in Burnaby that's enjoying signing these. Yeah,
and there's the Seashelt and Mission now, I believe, as well. And, of course, there was Halifax just a few days ago. We had Saskatoon as well. So, you know, it's not just in BC, but, yeah, it seems to be that jurisdiction is in the hands of local police forces. So you get kind of a wild card thing where you got the police chief of Vancouver totally supportive of the idea of outright legalization, and then you got a bunch of backwater hillbilly cops who hate that marijuana stuff. Yeah.
Right-wing stormtroopers.
Exactly. Well, Rich, I really appreciate it. And, definitely keep in touch. Is there a Facebook page that you want to give people that they can check out what's going on?
There's a couple. There's the Nanaimo Cannabis Club is one of them, and then there's Nanaimo Cannabis Dispensaries, yes or no. Kind of the buzz group right now.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Well, thanks, my friend, and we'll definitely touch base with you again soon.